That's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, degenerates of all ages, welcome again to another Thursday edition of That Fuzzing Rock Show. Good to see you guys. Feel free to comment in the chat if you guys got questions for our incoming band tonight. We're interviewing Sunset Grin. It's going to be a good time. So if you guys got questions for them, please feel free to put them in the chat. Yeah, we got a bunch of questions for the boys, but you got something you want to know, you just let me know, and I'll ask them. How's that sound? We'll get the camera fired up. There we go. Back in the bunker once again, folks. We're going to do some show business, then we'll bring the boys in just a couple minutes. We're going to talk first about our sponsor, 518guitar.com, offering affordable guitar lessons for the 518 area. You can contact Andrew for more information at 518guitar.com or call 518-878-5116. Gift certificates are available. Give the gift of music, literally. It's a good deal. So make sure you guys are checking them out. Capital Underground, exclusively on nippertown.com. Episode 54 just got put up there Monday. Every Monday morning, around 9 a.m. or so, sometimes 12:01 a.m. There he is. What's up, Mr. Mayor? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, it's usually by 9 a.m., but sometimes 1 a.m. it shows up. 12:01 on Monday morning, 4 a.m. Ralph's like that sometimes. So make sure you guys are checking that out. Also, Nippertown Radio is on nippertown.com right now. If you scroll down, it's in a cool little neighborhood on the Nippertown webpage. It's right down near Capital Underground and that Fuzz and Rock Show's banner, so feel free to scroll down, click on Nippertown Radio, all local music all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nippertown Radio, all local stuff. Make sure you guys are checking that out for sure. There's a ton of awesome local stuff on there. And check the calendar while you're there. It's just a great website for everything local that you want to check out. Nippertown's got it. And if they don't, we'll bring that to the mayor's attention. He'll get it up there ASAP. The Eddie Awards were Sunday. I was lucky enough to be able to go. It was fun. I brought my kid with me. We had a great time. Congratulations to everyone that won awards that night, and the nominees too. Everybody that was nominated, because that's an honor in and of itself, is just to be nominated. So that was good. Nippertown took the fourth year in a row, took the best arts publication. Congratulations to my homies at Nippertown, and the mayor himself took best photographer of the year, and had a killer speech for the Nippertown win. So that was pretty cool, man. If you missed that. Another nod to Upstate Records, Mario and Kim. Congratulations on that. I can't name them all, guys, but there was a bunch of winners, bunch of nominees. So congratulations to everybody that did that. And I'll even show you. So I told you guys I was going to dress up in a suit. I was going to look, I was going to dress to the nines. My kid said he's dressing in the nines. So now my nephews play horns in Aaron Hark's band, right? So we got a picture of the four of us together. Huh? Ladies, calm down. Calm down, ladies. I know it's tough to see that and not just absolutely go breathless. But yep, that's me, my son, my nephews, Cody and Kyle Chamberlain. Again, they play horns in Aaron Hark's band, but that was all of us. Yep, dressed up to the nines and had a great time. So those of you that missed it, I apologize. Where are we at? Johnny Depp trial. Oh my God, you guys. If you guys are not watching this, I am like glued to it. Literally, I turned YouTube on this morning. It was about 5 of 10. So it starts at 10 a.m. So it's about 5 minutes to 10. I turned it on and they bring the feed into the thing and they bring the jury and sit them down. The judge goes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And I said out loud, good morning, Your Honor. Like, I'm in it. I'm in this trial big time, dude. And if you haven't been following, I mean, it's a look into chaos, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what's going on with those guys. But enough about them. If you guys are looking for us on social media, I'll tell you exactly where you guys need to go. YouTube.com is That Fuzzing Rock Show. It's youtube.com/That Fuzzing Rock Show. If you can, go over there, hit the subscribe button, like the videos, and hit that notification bell. You guys will know exactly when we go on. You'll get a notification exactly when we go on the air. Facebook.com, same thing. Facebook.com/That Fuzzing Rock Show. If you guys are over there, hit the follow button and like some of the videos. Insta and TikTok is at That Fuzzing Rock Show. Again, follow over there, like the videos, and share is the biggest thing. If you guys could share, that'd be great. Speaking of sharing, Nippertown's almost at 14,000 followers. If you guys aren't following them yet, head over there, Nippertown on Facebook, and click the follow button. Get us to 14,000 and above. Let's go to 15,000. Finally, last but not least, we're going to talk about Monarch Tattoo. They're in Latham, New York. Their phone number is 518-389-6060. On the worldwide interwebs, it's monarchtatlounge.com. That's Monarch T-A-T-T lounge.com. My girl Gulia over there, coolest chick around. They're all cool, man. The shop's clean. They're all cool. They kind of just hang out and chat with you while you're getting inked up. It's pretty cool, man. Go check them out. Monarch Tattoo, Latham, New York. Hell of a place to go. Now, where we at? Are we missing one of you guys? Ready to roll? If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Oh, he's taking a phone call. We'll look at it. We'll let him take the phone call. All right, he's good. You guys are good. I'm good, man. We're going to do this right now. We're going to welcome to the studio, folks, the boys from Sunset Grin. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Good to see you guys.
Good to see
Thank you guys for stopping by. We definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're excited.
Dude, it's my pleasure, believe you. And this interview is being brought to you by 518guitar.com. My favorite sponsor. That's right, buddy. That's Andrew, by the way. If you guys want lessons, he's the guy to talk to. 518guitar.com or give him a call at 878-5116. That's 518-878-5116. How'd I do, boss? Good?
That was amazing, Michael.
All right, my friend. Very good. So let's talk about you guys. Introduce yourselves. Let everybody know what you guys do in the band.
We'll start over here with the big guy.
So I'm Clayton. I'm the bass player, and we're all co-writers, so I'll just leave it at that. And I've been with Sunset Grin since the inception, so happy to be here.
John, singer, rhythm guitar. Clayton and I were fortunate enough to connect, and I went to Clayton playing a whole bunch of cover songs, and Clayton said, well, if you can play covers, you'll have originals, why are you playing covers? So Clayton's a personal trainer. He pushes and pushes and says, go do what you should be doing. So I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of talented people around me.
So I'm Andrew. I play lead guitar, and I was lucky enough to be sitting in front of that dude with the green beard the other night at the Eddies. Like, what a weird, like, world we live in where you can
tell you, man,
hanging with the best and you don't even know who they are and when they're there. So my name's Andrew. I've been playing guitar for a while, and John and Clay kind of brought me in. And I had traditionally played in cover bands. And so it was, I've been writing music for years, and I think I share the same sentiment, like, you work so hard at your art, and are you going to paint a Rembrandt stroke for stroke and sell it in a diner parking lot?
Touche.
Over at the Gateway? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to create fresh, and that's what we do.
very cool, man. So, I mean, let's get into it. You guys have a show coming up May 7th, the Avalon Lounge. We'll get into that a little bit later, and let's talk about you guys for a minute. Now, how long have you guys been Sunset Grin? How long have you guys been together?
So I think officially since February of 2020, just before COVID started. So we all had all of these wonderful ideas and motivation. We were practicing 3 times a week, and then a month and a half later, COVID hit. So officially 2020, February, and then we sort of piecemealed it. And after things started to come together again, we've been at it strong. So a little over 2 years.
Now, is this the original lineup for Sunset Grin, or was there former pieces of it before you guys all got together?
So that's a good question. John and I sort of got together. We did have a couple other previous members, and sort of through the filtration system, we came across Andrew, thank goodness, and our drummer, who's going to be in any minute, and that's where we're at. So we all were sort of a piecemeal of maybe a couple other bands, and it came together. Yeah.
Yep.
We're not going to talk to the drummer tonight. He's late. He doesn't get talked to. Everybody just ignore him when he comes in. Listen, guys. I'm talking to chat too. When the drummer comes in, just ignore him, okay? Everybody ignore the guy.
He's coming up.
Don't say nothing.
But yeah.
Is that him? Is he here?
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Who? See?
Yeah. There he is.
Oh, shit, that's awesome.
We tried to ignore him, but we can't. He's
no, you can't ignore drummers, dude. I'm a drummer myself. Are you kidding me? I can't do that.
Gotta be like that, right?
So Johnny,
now, introduce yourself, sir, and let us know what you do in the band, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, my name is Johnny Coleman. I'm the drummer in Sunset Grin. I've been playing drums for many, many years, since I was a little kid. Met up with these guys and found a niche.
I like that, a niche.
A niche.
Yeah.
It's a niche. I like it.
Club once, we don't know where he went, and he found an itch the next day. He found the niche and he found an itch.
One or the other, right? So now let's talk about the music. You guys have, how many releases do you guys have out, and where can folks find your music at?
So I'll answer that. We're on pretty much any streaming platform, all the major ones, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, you name it, pretty much we're out there. We've got, I think, 7 songs out there. The first 4 are part of an EP, and we really like the dynamics of those 4. Like I said, check us out on any of these platforms. And then we wanted to start releasing some singles. So we've got 7 out there now, but we've got a ton in the hopper, and we're making some plans to get back in the studio soon.
So now the EP is looks like it's self-titled. That's the one with Superficially, Toga, the song, and Ducker on it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the EP. Okay. Yeah, I did my homework, man.
I think that's a lot of we got to jam during COVID isolation quite a bit, and that's a lot of songwriting you see reflected in there, and a lot of I'm sure all the bands you talk to kind of like writing the music, shooting ideas to each other, collaborating through DAWs and stuff like that, and This guy, I'm not going to name any dates, but I started jamming with him a long time ago.
The day that Elliot Spitzer got arrested, the very first time we played together, we played as client number 9.
Yes.
Wait, who's Elliot Spitzer? That's a long time ago.
Hey, at least you were in client number 10. Just think of it that way. So now the singles you guys have out, we have now correct me if I'm wrong, please. I Want to Love Someone, Living in Sin, and Last Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 you got. See that, man?
Look at that.
Pretty
Wow.
good.
So you guys covered. Now let's talk pandemic. So you guys, and you're right. When I talked to a lot of bands, that was the time where they kind of isolated themselves and really kind of grinded, and that's why we're getting so much music that's coming out, and it's a great thing. If something great came out of the pandemic, that's it, because it really started getting people together creativity wise, whatever you want, however you want to say that. So did you guys obviously got together and just started writing, I would imagine, right?
Well, a lot of cold practices in the garage with the door wide open. But yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then that's when I first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the neighbors would be walking by, shooting us the bird. But yeah, we were at John D, the singer's house, and we were out there trying to keep our distance in the beginning with masks, but we never really gave up. We just kind of spaced apart.
So let's talk about songwriting process. Now, when the song is in its inception, starting off, how does the song come from an idea, whoever has the idea, to finished product? What's your songwriting process like?
They evolve in a couple of ways. One song that's right off the top of my head is Last Night, where Andrew came to us with a riff, and the riff sort of evolved into the entire song. Like, the words kind of came fast to me. Well, I was fortunate in that way, but it was literally just the whole song is based around a riff. I write 4 chords in a box a lot, so I'll write something really simple, and Clayton, I like to joke we don't have a lot of ugly babies, but Clayton comes along and gives them nose jobs and changes stuff, and in the end you kind of have to accept, like, okay, it's a prettier baby, it's different, but it's prettier, and it's part of the process. So we're all really good at collaborating and thinking outside the box and allowing things to happen, because you can always take it back, but it's fun to see how other people picture the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because I talked to a lot of bands. I've interviewed quite a few now, and everybody seems, their songwriting process seems to be very similar. It's a collaboration. Everybody kind of does their thing, and they start from usually a riff, but it starts there, and then everybody kind of adds their thing to it. I think there's only 1 or 2 people that I've interviewed that they do everything, and the band's just basically like not told what to do, but like, this is how it's going to be played. And that, I mean, it's great that you guys collaborate. It's just, I find that songwriting process kind of weird, like,
Yeah, definitely.
but you guys, I think you guys are doing it right. Yeah. So we mentioned off of the EP a song called D Song. And we're going to let people hear what you guys got going on right now. And we're going to play the video for the song. As soon as we do that, we'll be back and we'll talk to the boys some more. So check this out. This is Sunset Grin and the song.
All right.
The song we're playing, can you feel the groove we're laying? Does it make you sway? Girl, move your ass my way. Can you feel it in my song? I can help you move along. Will you listen close to me? Do you hear what I see? See the lights and hear the sound. Slide your feet across the ground. Do you hear what I said? Let our music fill your head. something with the beat, an octopus with drummer's feet. Can you hear my guitar play? Does it make you move my way? It's a song you wanna hear. Sing my words and swig your beer. Will you listen close to me? Do you hear what I see? I can do it one more time. That's all in my bag of rhymes. I won't do it again. This is how it ends. Someone loving it feels so fine. Now you're mine. Still you have me here alone. No, it didn't last for long. It's captured here forever in this song. Turn me on, I need you so. Turn to leave for your back and please don't go. Woo! Oh yeah! Woo! This is a song I leave for you. It says everything that I needed to, and we thank you. Yes, we do. Thank you for coming to the show. Knock 'em down. One more to go. Thank you for coming to the show.
There you go, Sunset Grin, and the song. Now, first of all, I have to say, Andrew, you must have some balls because I've never seen a guitar player just entrust a Les Paul to somebody else.
First question to her was, "You don't have a bracelet on, right?"
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
That was the first and only appearance of that guitar. I'm a little protective of it.
Nice one.
No, I can understand, dude. Believe me, I can understand that. So let's talk about that video. How long ago did you guys release that?
I think back in February or March of this year. We just filmed that over the winter. Yeah.
How long did that take to shoot?
It's a
One
whole-
night.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
evening, maybe 5-6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who did that? Who did that video? Give them a shout.
Daniel Russ from.
Best Bites.
Thank you.
Best Bites Media. Best Bites.
Yeah.
He's
awesome,
awesome.
dude.
He
Great
he
guy.
helped me with an Irish guitar course, which I lost with all of my other life history. But he's so fast, you know, and like I sent him all the data and all the stuff, and like almost overnight. Of course,
Yeah.
now I threw him under the bus. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's great.
Yeah, my condolences for that loss, dude. I went through something similar, and I think I might have told you about it. Or at
Yeah.
one point in time, I was editing a video on my main computer upstairs in the upstairs studio, and everything just blacked out. I lost the whole thing, and that was all the show graphics, all of my interviews that I had. Everything was just gone.
Awesome.
And luckily, my buddy's an IT guy. He went in and stripped the memory out of it, and luckily I got it all back. Thank God.
Oh,
I got
good.
it all back, but
Good.
yeah, it's just oh my God, I was dying. I'm like, this really so I know where you're coming from, dude. That's a horrible feeling.
There's no sleep.
Um,
There's no sleep.
and
But
you guys are not afraid to put the bass out front. Like
uh,
the bass is very prevalent in your songs, and not that it's a bad thing. But it's you can hear it, and I dig that. I really it sounds like it makes the mix a little fuller, which is a good sound for sure.
It's like a dream come true for me, Mike. I'm telling you. And I write all my bass lines to be sort of in the front, and depending on the melody and the type of song we do, sometimes they get a little bit buried. But like I said, that's why I love this band so much. We all sort of have our own sort of artistic input, and it kind of just flows. So yeah.
So let's stick with you. We'll talk to the bass player first. Let's talk influences, because I usually try to nail down what a band sounds like. You guys do have a fairly unique sound, and I'm trying to put my finger on what the influence is. So I'm going to ask you guys for your influences individually, and then let's talk about the band and what you guys think your band kind of sounds like. Let's do it that way. So go ahead, bud.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start. I'm sort of a 90s, 2000 alternative rock guy. I mean, obviously in my mind, one of the greatest bass players out there is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And that's where a lot of my influence comes from, a lot of movement, a lot of sort of chord patterns. Anything from sort of that era and more, I like to kind of keep that traditional rock format in a song, but sort of add some flavor to it. So that's sort of where, that's sort of where I come from with my playing style. And one thing I noticed when we all started to get together was we all sort of led into that direction miraculously. We didn't really talk too much about what direction we were going, and that's the area we ended up. So yeah, that's definitely my type of influence, 90s and 2000s rock.
Next.
To be honest, I like the grunge, like the Alice in Chains. I like that heaviness. I hooked up with these guys, and they had a good bass line, especially the bass for playing that kind of stuff. So I'm more of a grunge guy.
yeah, it's
You opened up a can of worms, by the way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because growing up, I wasn't really exposed to much rock, but I was exposed to a lot of blues, a lot of local blues bands, and sneaking into bars and hearing what was like a blues renaissance locally. Mm-hmm. So I stuck with blues for a while because blues is easy to learn and very difficult to master, and then got into Hendrix, all of the typical Stevie Ray, Clapton, but then knowing this guy, the singer, and like what we were trying to put together back in Elliot Spitzer days. Back in the day, I started to learn more and more. Like the music I listened to on the radio was really 90s and 2000s grunge and metal, but I kind of had to sneak it in there. And so about 5 or 10 years ago, I just started falling in love with metal, really falling in love with metal and hard rock. And I hope that that's coming through.
Cool. I guess my influence would be classic rock, but I grew up in a household where all kinds of things would be on the stereo. So I think that's really where, like, Pearl Jam was always an influence for me, watching people like Eddie Vedder on stage. Like, the guy's just spectacular on stage. His emotion really came through in his music, and I think I try to, convey that when I'm up and down in my range on stage. As far as who we sound like, I called him once. I heard something on the radio and I said, I think we sound like this band, and it was Rainbow. So
that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it kind of sounds like us. It had like a heavy bass line, and it was like really driving song. And I was like, wow, this is kind of similar to us.
Mm-hmm.
So
most people may not have heard of Rainbow, which is interesting, but they are a pretty amazing band.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's funny about Rainbow. I've never. I love their music. I don't like Richie Blackmore.
Oh,
I'm a Dio fan.
Oh, come on.
He's an amazing guitar player. Don't get me. I'm not saying that. His attitude is why I hate his attitude.
Oh,
That's the. I don't know. His guitar playing is nothing short of stellar. He's an amazing guitar player. Just his attitude's horrible. I just never been a fan because of that reason.
I kind of heard these days he's wandering through the woods playing Baroque lute and stuff like Renaissance things and leotards. That's his more recent stuff, and I was a little shocked at that.
That's my regular Friday night, dude. Don't knock it.
Oh, maybe that was you. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been me. You definitely noticed it was me. So let's go back to our buddy, the bass player. When did you? I wanted to ask you guys. When did you guys each start getting into music, and how that happened? We'll start with on the end again.
Yeah, so I started as a drummer at 7 years old. I got my first drum set as a gift. I'm not sure if it was a birthday or around the holidays. And I played drums until I was probably 18 years old. And we always needed a bass player. So I just kind of, it sounds strange, a lot of musicians say this, but I sort of had an epiphany. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, I have to learn the bass. And I went out, this is before the internet was in your face. I went to the local music store and probably bought the Mel Bass bass line book or chord book and spent days and weeks and months and probably years learning it. So by the time I was in my early 20s, I started getting into bands and stuff and playing pretty regularly, probably no bands you guys have heard of, and then I took a big hiatus. I really, I got into working full time and I spent probably 10 years without even really touching my guitar, and it just kept itching at me. Every time I would look around, I would see something that would remind me of playing, and I got back into it strong and bought more gear, and that's when it sort of started again, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. So, yeah.
Now you youngsters out there, if you guys are looking for, if you guys wake up in the middle of the night and you're looking to get bass lessons, 518guitar.com does offer bass lessons, just so you guys know.
And I know a guy named Clay. He's a musician right in his heart.
There you go. All right, you're up, bud.
So I've been playing since I was 5 years old, which is many years ago. I started out taking a couple lessons, like 2 or 3 lessons, and at 5 years old, that didn't do it. But I would put the headphones on, had a little drum set, and I would just listen and play along to songs. So I never really had any classical training, so I just pretty much play by ear and by feel, and it seems to work out the best.
It works.
It works. Yeah, it works.
So that's pretty much it.
We like your teacher. He's very good.
Yeah. He's with the headphones on.
There you go. What about you, Andrew?
So I picked up the guitar at 14. My parents had a Woolworth. A lot of people might not know what that is. A Woolworth 5 and dime store guitar in the attic. So I grabbed that, and it was awful. So they got me lessons, and I earned my electric guitar. My dad bought me the Eric Clapton Unplugged book, and he said, "You're going to learn this. If you would like an electric, you're going to earn it." And I kept my part of the deal, and he kept his part of the deal. And one day, when I was 16, I came home, and guess what was on my bed? A black and white Strat. The experience with my first teacher was awful. He said I was talentless, and he called my mom into the room and fired me. He would balance his checkbook while I played, or like make his store list, or run out to Trading Port and get cans of beans and come back. A funny story about that teacher. I'm not going to name names, but he would. We're going to let that go. So, and then luckily my mom found a teacher who was so good with beginners, and he changed my life. He honestly, I mean, I wouldn't be here having a chat with you if it weren't for him. And that first experience was devastating to me, just devastating. So,
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was awful. It was just awful. So anyway, here we are, and just full of fun and passion. What an amazing ride.
Yeah. Thank goodness for that bad instructor. I'm telling you, he led you into this,
Yeah.
So who was the good instructor? Let's give him a shout out. I mean,
he's amazing. His name is Jim Wilson, and he worked for Drome Sound for many years. Then he worked for Parkway Music. He played he graduated from Plattsburgh, and a lot of local bands. He played with them, and he's a straight up jazz cat. But the funny part is, I still take lessons from him, dude. I hit him up for, Jim, I need, so he'll show me these jazz chops, and he'll say, if you just apply different timing, you're playing metal. Oh, wow. Pretty profound stuff.
Yeah.
So John Coltrane with distortion is metal, my friend. And so Jim Wilson, he's still teaching, and he moved to Nashville to be with his son, who's a studio musician.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
All right, you're up.
All right, so you guys are making me flash back to being a kid and taking piano lessons when I was really young. I could just picture me in like a yellow blazer and white pants. It was not pretty.
Easter.
Yeah.
I'll find it for you. It's funny. But I started as a kid playing piano, kind of dropped it in my teens and 20s and didn't really have a whole lot of interest in being in music, just was on the radio as a producer and didn't find myself involved in music at the time. And 30 years old, my wife bought me an acoustic guitar, and there had always been one leaning against the wall, but I always been like the singer at my dad's house. So I started strumming a little bit and started to do a lot of 4-chord ditties, and was fortunate enough to have a couple of minutes at Andrew's parents' house with him, and all of a sudden he's shredding Stevie Ray Vaughan in front of me, and I'm just going, wow, because I can't do that. So it gave me an appreciation for the talent around me, and I realized that if I can just get by, I can basically rely on other people to really carry the weight. And so I'm basically just a guitar strummer.
Have you heard this guy sing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was blessed with pitch.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all with that. So, all right, I'm going to ask you guys a little controversial question here. Being an original band, what is your take on original bands versus the cover/tribute bands?
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Andy.
Oh, really? Well, I've straddled both sides, and I mean, the temptation's always there, isn't it, to sort of come up with a lucrative cover band, because there's money. There's money, there's booze, there's fans, there's a following, opportunities, there's clubs, there's festas, there's outdoor events. And of course, like the urge is to do that, to have a more fulfilling and interactive music life in the capital region, the land of the tribute band. But you know what is rewarding about original is that you get to dig down into a community, dig deeper into the community, and meet up with people who
Real people.
They're like-minded.
they're like-minded. And gosh, everything. I just have to go back to what John said to me a few years ago. I mean, look, my first teacher fired me for lack of talent. Anything you hear me play, I've worked doggedly at. I just don't have, not trying to put myself down. I just don't have the ear. And so I cut my teeth learning covers, like note for note. We're going to play Freebird. We're going to play Give Me 3 Steps. We're going to do this. We're going to play Blackbird by the Beat. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you'd like to mature from a technician to a musician, you gotta write music. What is the difference between a guitarist and a musician? They're not always the same, man.
No, true.
Write music and have it from the heart. That's the only way. So that's my 2 cents.
I mean, if you think about it, every band starts off as a cover band. Nobody starts playing music with their own stuff. I mean, if there is, it's you look at bands like Metallica. They do covers. I mean, every band does covers. I get that.
You cut your teeth covers, and then you evolve.
Yeah, I think the question is more exclusively covers. But I mean, I get where you're coming from for sure.
Yeah, my thoughts on it are, we've struggled with this balance, because I mean, between these two guys actually these three, I think they probably could put together 1,000 covers in one night of practice. So I don't think I could be a cover musician, not necessarily technically, but I have to write. Like, it's inside of me. I have to write, I have to produce, I have to create these melodies, and it's a huge outlet for me. So as much as I respect a lot of these amazing cover artists, I feel like, to reiterate what Andrew said, like the true sort of heart of it comes out in your own music and creating sort of your own piece and product. So Yeah,
It's almost like somebody hands you a puzzle and now you have to finish it.
yeah. Like Andrew will hand you the chord puzzle, and yeah, I like that.
And you're looking for the other pieces of it, you know.
Like I would flip the question around too for your listeners, and maybe generate some interesting comments and stuff. I guess I would flip the question around, like, if you knew that you could be a killer Zeppelin cover band. Like, I know these guys, like, I'm not blowing smoke. I mean, I love the way they play. If you knew that you could go out and nail even the more, like, Kashmir, note for note, what does it feel like to consciously decide to just not do that? How would that feel? That's just an open-ended question.
So you brought up Zeppelin. That brings to mind another question that I've been dying to ask somebody, and I always forget to ask it. What is your opinion about covering the song Stairway to Heaven?
I went to a practice one, an audition, and written on the ceiling upside down was "Do not play Stairway to Heaven."
Well, didn't Zeppelin cover Stairway? Just kidding.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Zeppelin covered a lot of songs. Let's leave it at that. Zeppelin covered a lot of songs.
Yeah,
They covered it well.
Sure they did. Yeah.
But I mean, they're legendary, so
Yeah.
gotta give them that. So now, are you guys currently writing or recording anything new? Do you guys got something in the channel ready to go, or what's going on with you guys now?
4 or 5 songs that are kicking around that just need me to put some more work into them, because we've basically got chord structures and just need finishing work to it, and we've got another handful at least that can be laid out.
Yeah, we've got a lot, as I keep using the expression, in the hopper. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff that's floating around. I know Andrew and I have sort of had conversations in the past that, you know, we'd love to just start rolling out some of these ideas that are in our heads. So I think in the remainder of 2022 and 23, you're going to see a lot of stuff coming off the Sunset Grin plate as far as new stuff, maybe a slightly different sound that we're sort of working. Yeah, videos, absolutely. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff.
Now we're gonna get another EP, or is it a full length album? What are we thinking?
I think we're gonna do a full length album. I mean, we've got the material now to produce an album. We just really want to sort of function it correctly and get it out there and really create create the expression for the album before we just start throwing it out there. So we're gonna probably release a couple videos for some of the songs that we've done in the past, and then we're gonna really start to plug away at that full-length album, and hopefully in 2023, towards the end of it, we'll have that out there ready to roll.
Now, I've interviewed national bands, I've interviewed local bands, I've done quite a few of them, and I pretty much say the same thing to everybody. You know, an album named Fuzzy would be amazing. Just putting it out there. Just letting you guys know. I mean, you know, I've said that to everybody, so it's not just you guys.
We gotta get you hooked up with TJ at the Love of Fuzz in Troy, and we could have that Fuzzing Rock Show live cast from Love of Fuzz. I mean, you guys would hit it off.
You know, I've heard that, so I'm gonna have to go down there and chat and just walk in the store and be like, "You stole my name, bro." You be a fight to the death in there with, like, we'll be throwing pedals at each other and shit.
Yeah, there you go.
So now, what does you guys' rehearsal schedule? Do you guys have a designated spot that's your rehearsal spot, and what's your rehearsal schedule look like?
You, Johnny D.
So my basement has a big thick carpet and a full-blown PA, and it's nice because everything can just live there. And my wife is really tolerant, so thank you. And I'm far from my neighbors, so it all kind of works out. It's like a perfect storm. Schedule-wise, we try to get twice a week in. That's always the goal.
We do more with gig prep.
True.
We do more. Yeah.
We I know you said we'll talk about it later. The show we have coming up on May 7th, it's going to be a really good show in Catskill. We'll probably spend a couple more practices just focusing on that set list. There's going to be some new stuff on there, so any of you guys that go to our shows, you'll hear some new songs on there, so it'll be good.
Some good songs.
Now, see, Missy says a fuzzy sunset is the best kind. I like her already.
See? Our most loyal fan. I love it.
I love it. Absolutely outstanding. So now, what do you guys see as the mission of the band? Where are we going to head in, say, 5 years? Where do you guys see yourself in like 5 years?
Festivals.
That's
Bigger shows.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good question, Mike. I mean, I think if we look at sort of the macrocosm of the music scene, yeah, I mean, we don't really have a ceiling. If we've talked about getting on some festivals, and we want to do a regional tour, pretty soon, possibly in the late summer or fall of 2022. But I think wherever this sort of destiny brings us, I think it's open for whatever's out there.
We've got a super set of songs, and again, going back to original band, the idea is to get the same music to a ton of different people rather than a night of 45 cover songs to the same freaking people all the time. Yeah. So let's get a super set of music out to different people, touch their lives, impact them, and have them walk away going, wow, man, that really reminded me of some great times in my life, and I really like their sound. And then you start having memories of when you were, enjoying life, thousands to 2010s, and just to enrich their lives. Like that's my hope.
Yeah, it's great when music evokes feelings like that. It's pretty good. Now, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go. I call it shameless plug time. We'll start in the end like we have been, and we'll go down the line. This is you guys' time to. Oh. You guys can shout out anybody you want. You guys can thank anybody you want. I'll put a cap on in the end by talking about your show and some of the stuff you got out there, websites and stuff like that. But this is your time. You guys shameless plug whatever you guys want to, starting with our favorite bass player over there. Go ahead, bud.
I'm going to keep it sort of short and sweet. We have some really good fans out there. I mean, I want to just kind of give a plug to everyone that goes to our shows. We were in Saratoga this last weekend, and I mean, I was looking out, seeing all these familiar faces and thinking, wow, these are really good fans. Another kind of group of plugs I want to give, I mean, to, of course, John's house at the studio. I'm guessing Missy has been pretty tolerant of us making loud sounds late at night. And I think just the whole sort of local original music community. We've gotten a lot of support, via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That there's some good support out there. And I think just the community, the original music community out there has been really good. So short and sweet, but everyone out there just kind of being part of this original music thing. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that I'm thankful for, especially with these guys. I started with them maybe 10 months back, and we've been putting out some good stuff. And just all of us coming together, never really knowing what kind of stuff they had. They would throw some stuff out, I would do it, and it was right up my alley, nice and easy. So definitely a good thing.
Yeah, when you came in, you were playing these songs like you'd heard them before. Never ever heard them. So.
Yeah. The music itself it's a good feeling. That's why I'm with these guys. It's because that music, that sound is out there. It's got to be heard. That's all. It's a good band.
Agreed.
You're up, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, gosh,
I've 1/8 guitar got down.
Well, I've been like these guys have been playing a while, and I know what it's like to have to push a boulder uphill, and this ain't it. Like, let me tell you, my wife Rose is amazing, and my son, because here's the deal. Here's what I never hear. Oh, geez, band practice again? Well, you were just out, blah blah blah. And another thing I never hear is like, oh, you're burning all this time with these guys. What do you really think you're going to be successful? Which never hear that, man. I mean, I always hear like, oh wow, what are you guys working on? Oh, you're prepping for that gig. Oh, how's this song developing? I mean, what a world of difference that makes.
That's amazing.
That you don't have people in your vehicle putting their legs out and slowing it down and dragging on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So many people deal with that. So obviously, my wife and my son for always being excited. My guitar students constantly come to gigs, constantly, and I mean, they without them, I mean, the motivation to play would be a lot less. Let me tell you. So thank you to them.
I want to give another shout out to Missy for letting us practice at the house so much, because we do like to take it late sometimes, but it does pay off because we're enjoying ourselves, we're having fun, and we're really dedicated to what we're doing. And to go full circle back to what Clay was saying, our fans are awesome. Like, it is great to look out and see faces in the crowd, and see them kind of singing along or swaying along and really getting into it. It means something, because we're doing we're basically putting ourselves out there, and it's great to know that other people are enjoying it and having a good time listening to it. So thank you for having us.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, guys, the band is Sunset Grin, sunsetgrin.com. If you guys are out on the interwebs, go check that out. You guys can also find them on Facebook. It's facebook.com/sunsetgrin. You guys can get the music. It's on most streaming platforms. Check your streaming platforms for availability. You guys can get the merch, Sunset Grin Band, at sunsetgrinband.dizzyjam.com. You guys can check them out live May 7th, the Avalon Lounge in Catskill, with special guest Apollo's Creed and Firing Squad. It's an 8 to 11 show.
Gonna kill it.
Yes, we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said something wrong. Guys, listen, I appreciate you guys swinging out and hanging out with us for a while. Look forward to seeing you guys on the 7th, the Avalon Lounge. Guys, go check them out. It's going to be an amazing show. And again, thank you guys for stopping in, and I hope the best for you guys, for sure. Thank you guys.
And we want to thank you too, Mike. You're giving all of us a platform.
Thank you so much.
And we love what you do. Keep it up.
I appreciate that, fellas. Thank you. Support local, guys. Go out and check these guys out. Sunset Grin. Thanks, boys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right. Sunset Grin, folks. Make sure you guys are checking them out. Again, thank you, Missy. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys are checking them out. May 7th, Avalon Lounge in Catskill. Of course, 518guitar.com. Make sure you're checking that out. Give the gift of music. There's gift certificates available, and you get to deal with Andrew. See that? So make sure you guys are checking them out. Guys, listen, I definitely appreciate you guys stopping by. That's it for me. I'm done for this week. Well, I say that. I'm going to go work on other fuzzing materials now. So, but listen, I appreciate you guys. Again, I couldn't do this without you. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Next week is going to be Last Pharaoh. That's going to be a great interview. Their guitar player is nothing short of stellar. He's really, really good. So, look forward to talking to them. And we got a lot of stuff. Listen, I am booked through the end of June. So there is a ton of cool interviews coming up. Ike's Wasted World is going to be swinging by in June. I believe they're in June. So I got Ike's Wasted World. Under the Den is going to be here. There's going to be a whole bunch of interviews coming, guys. Again, we're booked through the next 2 months. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Support local, guys. Nippertown.com. Make sure you guys are checking that out. Capital Underground. Make sure you're checking them out. And, of course, check out our social media. YouTube.com/ThatFuzzingRockShow. Facebook.com/ThatFuzzingRockShow. Instagram and TikTok, we are at That Fuzzing Rock Show. Make sure you guys are over there subscribing, following, liking, and share it with everybody. Let's get this community growing as big as we possibly can. Like I said, guys, that's it for me. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys again next week. Same time, same channel, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Put this one in the books, folks. I'm out. Later.
Just put 'em down. I'm sorry, sweetie. Honey Badger doesn't give a shit.